Thanks for watching FILMBuFF. Really, honestly, it's fucking great.
Hello, how's it going, guys? My name is Im. Alright, man, back for another episode. Just finished episode 4. I decided I'm just gonna go do episode 5 as well. But before the episode, I need to thank all the amazing patrons. Thank you. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for the support. You know, you guys are the real deal, man. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. And a reminder to anyone else, if you would like full-length reactions, check out my Patreon page. There's no early access for this season, but there is full-length, so check that out. But there is going to be early access and full-length for the next anime. And at this point, it's kind of like a foregone conclusion that it's going to be Death Note. It has like a solid lead. So something to keep in mind once that starts. But yeah, man, last episode, just checked it out. The Commander's final stand, basically, that's going to happen. Let's see how it all plays out, man. Let's get into it. Yeah, I remember that.
人類憲章第6条に違反ありと認め死刑に処す。お前これで
突如出現した超大型巨人、鎧の巨人によってカラネスクの扉は2つとも破壊されました。現在、東区より避難する住民が押し寄せています。
Oh shit, I see.
退避経路を確保せよ。ダメだ。ウォールシーナの扉をすべて閉鎖せよ。避難民を何人たりとも入れてはならんぞ。
それはウォールローゼの住民を人類の半数を見殺しにするとのご判断でしょうか。
先ほどその者が言った通り、内戦が始まるだけだ。
You dumb fucks.
政府がやるしかない。扉を塞ぐんだ。
待て。
待ってたら手遅れだ。
選ぶのは誰だ。誰が選ぶ。
何をしている。早く動け。王政への反逆罪となるぞ。
Shut your whore mouth.
できません。
Yes, Niall.
俺はウォールローゼの人間だ。扉の閉鎖は阻止させてもらう。
すまん。
私も加勢しよう。
Whoa. Zachary's in town.
彼らの判断は意外だったかの。
Oh, that's who he meant. It's up for us to decide. Zachary decides, huh?
先ほどの報告は誤報です。
Oh.
ご安心ください。今現在、巨人の襲撃は確認されていません。結局はあなた方政府に任せる方が人類のためになるのではという迷いがあった。おそらくわしらよりずっと壁や巨人に詳しいでしょうからな。もしあなた方がより多くの人類を救えるのであれば、エルヴィンを処刑台に送っても良いと思っておった。当然、場合によってはわしらも首を差し出す覚悟もあった。
That's the gamble.
今あなた方が答えを
It paid off, man. It paid off.
地方の貴族も黙っておるまい。
どうやら理解しておられぬようですな。これはただの脅しではない。クーデターじゃ。
Man, I just spat. Oh my god.
というのは時には王より上官に従うものでな。そもそも偽の王であればなおのこと。我々は真の王を立てるつもりです。
これが本当に非常時であったなら、あなた方の先ほどの判断こそ人類憲章第6条違反。さらに偽りの王を立て政治を私したことを加えれば極刑に値するかと。
It's the Beast Titans theme from season 2. Great track. But holy shit.
勝ちだな。嬉しくないのか。ナイル。人類はより険しい道を歩まざるを得なくなったぞ。
That's incredible, man. Dude, I'll follow Commander Smith for the rest of my life, man.
でもティーブス会長の件は
あれが濡れ衣だって証言は取れたからね。息子のフレーゲルが奮闘してくれてるよ。
まだわかんねえのかよ。王政の連中は俺たちを救う気なんかねえんだ。目をそらして殺されてからじゃ遅いんだよ。そうですよ。今度巨人に襲撃されたらもう何も残りませんよ。会社も家族も。その前に真実を。
Oh my goodness, this is it, man. The revolution, the uprising. Can't keep him down anymore.
君たちについても正当防衛ってことで、つまり我々は自由の身だ。
Dude, this episode. Wow.
とんだ大博打だったな。
ああ、でもエルヴィンたちだけじゃない。一人一人の選択が世界を変えたんだ。
Right on, right on.
エルヴィンの働きを経て現体制の崩壊が宣言された。
Dude, this is episode 5. This is insane.
振り付けに変わる真の王家から新しい王が立ち、民を導く役割を担うことになるでしょう。
Well, the plan is to get Historia, if they can get her. But she's so young, though. She's gonna need help.
私の理由を言おうか。昔から奴らが気に食わなかったからだ。ムカつくのだよ。
Holy shit.
偉そうな奴と偉くないのに偉い奴が。いや、もうむしろ好きだな。思えばずっとこの日を夢見ていたのだ。
Zachary's loving him, man.
つまり、君らがやらなくても私がくたばる前に一丁かましてやるつもりだったのだ。このクーデターが人類にとっていいか悪いかなどには興味がない。私と同様、人類の命運よりも個人を優先させるほど。
Yes, he still has a mission, man.
君の理由は何だ？
私には夢があります。子供の頃からの夢です。
中身はほとんど5年前、レース家を襲った
5 years ago. Okay.
そう、ウォールマリアが破壊された日だ。ロットレースという男は領地の主としての評判は悪くなかった。
Oh shit, look at that.
5人の子供を持ち、特に長女のフリーダは飾らない性格で領民からも好かれていたらしい。しかし5年前の夜、悲劇は起きた。悪いことにその夜はレース一家が全員揃って祈りを捧げていた。
That's her, man.
そして一家の主、ロットレースを除く一族全員が盗賊に惨殺されてしまったんだと。
Oh shit, so he had kids, but they died.
そしてそれはヒストリアの母親が中央憲兵に殺される。
That's why he showed up for Historia. She's the last one left.
つまりロットレースは家族を失った直後にヒストリアに接触を図った。
Wow.
血縁関係か。その血に種か仕掛けがあるってのか。
Yes, my dude. Yes, yes, there is.
それより私が気になったのは礼拝堂が全焼したところにある。礼拝堂は石造りだ。破壊するには相当な時間と労力がいる。盗賊なら取るもん取ってさっさと逃げるべきだろう。それにその盗賊を見たのはロットレースただ一人。その後、
Most
彼
interesting.
は自分の財産で礼拝堂を建て直してる。なぜだろう。
Oh, this soundtrack in the background.
巨人の存在がなかったという方が不思議なくらいだ。
Whoa. Dude, I have goosebumps.
なんだ。
巨人になれる人間を巨人が食べることによってその能力が継承される。
That one.
もしそれが本当だとしたら、エレンはいつどうやって巨人になる。
Oh, I knew this was gonna happen at some point, man. Now, someone's gonna question it, right? I knew it. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Oh! Whoa! Incredible episode, man. That is... could be the best of the season. That was probably the best episode of the season. That one shot of Eren, that transition from... Okay, so that... Man, that shook me to the core, man. It gave me like instant goosebumps. That was the black-haired lady, Historia's second mom, as I call her. Turns out she is Rod Rice's daughter, but Eren saw her in the reflection. So that was Eren reliving a memory, but as another person. Okay, man, episode 5. Yes. Easily the best episode of this season so far. Oh my god, that was so exciting. Just top to bottom, such an exciting episode, man. You know, just so many amazing things going on. Yet, at the end of the day, they still managed to just absolutely mindfuck me by showing that one scene. Holy shit, man. That scene of Eren kind of tapping into some kind of past memory. But tapping into a past memory of Frida. That was Frida, man. But like he tapped into it and he felt like he experienced it, right? He was there basically. It's just like a mindfuck. But let's, get into the implications of that moment. It opens up a few new possibilities, man. And that instantly reminded me of that cannonball incident, the infamous cannonball incident from season 1. So, let's get back into those flashbacks. Grisha told Eren their memories will show you how to use it, right? It makes sense now, man. He was referring to the past users, the coordinate users. And by the past users, I mean this royal bloodline, right? Because they're meant to have it. And they've passed it down from generation to generation. So he's referring to them, and I believe that's the reason he kind of felt that, he kind of relived that memory through Frida, or relived Frida's memory, So it feels like, there's a connection there. As this is passed down from person to person, it's like they kind of have this shared memory thing going on. So, there seems to be some kind of connection, and it's also exciting. It's an exciting prospect in, storytelling terms, because they could, there's a great potential here to use this, right? Use this tool to perhaps show us some, flashbacks, and, who knows, how far back they can go with these. If Eren can tap into these memories, or like these memories come to him, I think it'd be a great tool to show us more flashbacks, so that's an exciting prospect. I hope it goes down that road, that he has these memories that he can kind of feel, or he can like tap into, because he has this shared connection to the coordinate holders, past holders. Or it could have been triggered by this legendary underground chapel. It's covered in this Titan crystal, so maybe that could have been a trigger for this. But it's an exciting prospect of using this as a tool to show us flashbacks. So in terms of the coordinate, there's a missing chunk in there. Now I'm still gonna stick on that theory that Eren ate his dad, and that's how he got this, and that's how he became a Titan shifter. I'm gonna stick to that. But see, for that to happen, that means that Grisha had the coordinate at some point, right? And I believe that's how Eren has it now. But see, the royal family had it at one point, you know, because it's their ability apparently, exclusive to them. And, you know, they passed it down from generation to generation. They made use of this. And then at some point, they lost it, right? They lost it. And then there's some kind of chunk missing. And then Grisha got it at some point, you know. So that raises questions about Grisha, man. Like, that means Grisha had to eat someone, right? He had to eat someone who had that ability. Is that how Grisha became the Titan? You know, is that how Grisha became a Titan shifter? Because he ended up eating the person who had the coordinate back then. So that's crazy. So I don't know what the hell Grisha has been up to. That's an exciting prospect in itself. So yeah, you know, there's a chunk missing. Let's see how all of that plays out. So present time, Eren has it. Rod Rice, he wants it back into the royal bloodline. And he plans on giving it to Historia, right? Again, I highly doubt she's going to be down for it. That being said, she was kind of decked out in those robes. So, you know, it all depends on if she's still herself. It depends on, you know, it all depends on what Rod Rice has been telling her, right? And feeding her. And if he's truthful about it. Now going back to that theory that, you know, Eren ate his father, and this is how he became a time shifter. You know, that's been the theory since episode 10, season 2, episode 10, man. That episode was just like mind blowing. It gave us so much. So my dude Armin is not going down that path. You know, he's asking that question. The gears are spinning now. The gears are turning now. You know, if indeed you have to eat someone to become a Titan shifter, and to, you know, gain those abilities, who exactly did Eren have to eat, or who did he end up eating to become a Titan shifter and have this ability on him now? So, you know, he's asking the question. So that's a major point in the show, I think. But I'm not done just yet on this topic. You know, the idea, the notion that Eren can tap into these memories, these past memories, I find that really fascinating. And there are examples of this really early on. In fact, all the way back in episode 1, you know, this showed me him having that dream sequence, that flashback sequence. Okay, I say flashback, but here's the thing. In that sequence, in that dream sequence, he was actually seeing the future, you know, or parts of it had the future in it, right? He saw the smiling Titan, right? He saw the smiling Titan pick up his mother. At that point, he didn't know, you know, but he saw it. It showed me the shot of Hannes' blood being splattered from the season 2 finale. He saw that. But yeah, no, those are future incidents. And those are like the two standouts of that dream he had in episode 1. I'll have to, you know, I might have to go check it out again to see some of the other ones. But I do remember, you know, there's like a fireplace. There's this uniform and it's got a bunch of badges on it. It's like red. The uniform itself, it's like a jacket, you know, like a high-ranking official's jacket. It's got a bunch of badges on it. Like I said, there's a fireplace. There's a bunch of toys. There's like a bear, you know, children's toys. That one is so random though. That one is just so random. There's also that shot of the, you know, the dead soldiers in the forest. But see, here's the thing though. The problem here is that he's not a Titan shifter at that point. He's not even a Titan, of course. Like, none of that has happened yet. Yet he's having these flashbacks and, you know, visions of the future. Like, how? How the fuck? You know, now I've been talking about the, you know, Eren eating Grisha to become a Titan shifter and getting this coordinate. I've been talking about that theory for some time now. So if I stay on that train of thought, could this have something to do with the fact that, you know, he's the offspring of a Titan shifter? I never even thought of that before, man. So he, in terms of genetics, he's not even a normal human, right? If in fact Grisha was a Titan shifter, he had Eren. Again, you know, that all depends on. See, that's a chunk that's missing. Like, I don't know if, you know, if Grisha is a Titan. At what point did he become a Titan, right? So did he have Eren after becoming a Titan? You know, in this episode, they showed that he can experience someone else's memories, right? that shot of him looking at the mirror as Frida because he's reliving that memory. So it's entirely possible that these memories could be someone else's memories again from that, first episode. But again, that being said, he's not a Titan shifter at this point, right? But the other thing that potentially supports this is that, if these could be Grisha's memories leaking in. Now, for that to happen and for that to be true, my theory about Grisha being a Titan has to be true. That's the only way. Now, the future stuff, I have no explanation for that. How he saw those incidents from the future, no idea. But maybe some of the other memories, some of the other things he's seeing in that dream, maybe those could be someone else's, memories. And if Grisha had Eren after becoming a Titan shifter, maybe there's some shared memory business going on there as well. Again, the big question now is, at what point did Grisha become a Titan shifter, right? Unless, of course, all those shots are from the future. Every single one of those shots could be from the future. Then it's different altogether. Let's go to the card. Hanji is doing Hanji things, and she's dropping knowledge on all of us. And this is coming out of that, book. The book she got from the commander. Now, just like Historia's backstory from episode 3, there are some inconsistencies here, right? I mean, Hanji's basically spelling it out for us. There are some, some things are not adding up here. Now, the main focus of this report is that incident, 5 years ago. So they show the family portrait, right? And Hanji confirmed that he had 5 kids, Historia being the 6th. And there's a special mention of his eldest daughter, Frida, right? Now I know who the black-haired lady is. She's Historia's half-sister. And they said she's this down-to-earth girl. Everyone likes her. And I think they did a great job of showing this in the opening credits and the end credits. That she's this happy person that's always smiling. Just, someone who kind of exudes positivity, right? And clearly, there is a connection because she's Historia's half-sister. So I know of their official connection. But again, Historia doesn't seem to have any recollection of this. She doesn't seem to remember her. So, it's still early days in the season, so hopefully I'll get the full scoop on that. Okay, so let's move on to the inconsistencies of this chapel. And, a lot of these are brought up by Hanji herself. I think the mid-episode information card is an important one because it sheds some light onto the questions being asked here, right? So the first thing is said is that it's an underground chapel. So right there is the first discrepancy, right? There's no mention of an underground chapel in Hanji's report because it's secret, it's underground. And the main chapel on the outside is kind of like a cover, though I'm sure it functioned just fine as, a chapel for the community. And I guess it's a great cover. But, the real business is going on down below. The chapel down below, yeah, that serves a totally different purpose, right? And, I had to go back and read the info card one more time, just for accuracy. So, it's this sacred place, and it's used to pass down, the royal family's, ability from generation to generation. And I think this goes all the way back to that, that shot of the king and his 3 daughters from the season 2 end credits. Now, if you look at the background, you can see that that one might actually be in the chapel up top, but again, that's a different time. That's a totally different time. And, the underground chapel is just, absolutely surrounded by this blue crystal-like substance, the same substance Annie encased herself in. And the info card, it confirmed that, indeed, a Titan created that at some point. Some kind of Titan power created that at some point. So that's crazy. So that infamous moment, that monumental breach happens, right? And that has a direct relation to something that happened at the chapel, right? Now I'm going to go ahead and say it's not bandits, right? I mean, Hanji basically spells that out for us, and she even said that there's telltale signs that there had to have been Titan activity here, right? Because she said that the chapel is made of stone and it was like destroyed. Bandits are not going to stick around long enough to just destroy it, and it would take a long time for them to even destroy that, if they could even destroy it. It's stone. So again, telltale signs of Titan activity. His family got massacred, right? And that makes sense. It makes complete sense because right after that happened, he goes to get Historia, and he's not going to go to get his illegitimate child if he doesn't need to, right? But if it is a Titan attack, who? Like, who the hell? Like, could Annie and Reiner even get there, you know, so soon after breaching Maria? It's a bit of a stretch, you know. Other than that, I have no clue. Like, I mean, could it be one of the family members, you know, they lost control and they kind of turned on the family and massacred them, and Rod Rice got out? Like, who else, you know, could it be? But I just don't see it. I just don't see how anyone would kill, you know, his children, his wife. Like, I just don't see, you know, Frida seems like such a nice person, and those are kids, man. The younger kids, like, those are kids, you know? So, like, I'm thinking someone lost control. Could be someone from his own family. Or could be someone I don't even know about yet. You know, that someone new enters the game or something. But yeah, you know, I don't see how anyone is gonna, you know, choose to kill them, you know, to kill those kids and Frida and his wife. You know, regardless of how Rod Rice is, like, those people are innocent, I think. Unless they're not. I mean, again, I'm just, you know, assuming things. But see, one thing that still has me a little bit confused is the fact that, you know, can Rod Rice not just take it himself? You know, clearly not, because he's out there trying to, you know, bring Historia into this and trying to give it to her. Like, something's stopping him from getting hold of this coordinate ability himself. Because if he plans on giving it to Historia, I'm gonna assume he has the serum, right? Because he has to turn Historia into a Titan first, so she could go and grab Eren and then consume Eren and become a Titan shifter herself. I don't think that's gonna happen. I really don't think that's gonna happen, but, you know, that's his plan. Could he not just inject himself and, like, eat Eren? There's gotta be a reason that he can't do it himself. You know, so much so that he has to go and get his illegitimate child, the last of his bloodline, so she can get it. Alright, so that's that part of the episode. Let's jump to the other half of the episode, the coup. This amazing coup that happened. Let's go right to the top of the episode and, you know, kind of go through it. You know, there's that really ominous scene of the gallows being set up for the commander in the public's eye, you know? They're making it clear, like, it's almost kind of like a foregone conclusion that he's going to hang, that he's going to be executed. That's certainly how they were behaving, right? Like, they put on this facade of, like, listening to him and going through the motions of, like, you know, talking it out and, like, making a decision. You know, they basically confirmed that last episode. You know, that round table, that corrupt round table, they were having their private conversation about how once they execute the commander, then, you know, their plans are back on track. You know, so they had their mind made up, regardless of what anyone else has to say. And the commander certainly had much to say. In fact, he, you know, presents this realistic hypothetical, not just to them, you know, the corrupt round table, to everyone in the room. You know, he's hoping that everyone in the room hears this and takes it in. You know, and his hypothetical is, if Rose is breached, they're coming, man. They're coming into Sinna, right? And he goes step by step, you know, outlining the madness that would ensue if the residents of Rose took refuge in Sinna in this current climate. You know, and he said that he thinks that civil war is inevitable, right? And you can see around him that, you know, the other military police people and the interior police, they're uneasy, man, just listening to this, because they know that, yeah, you know, this is a possibility, man. This is a possibility if the scouts are gone. And then, of course, he needed Niall to hear this, right? And all those conversations now make sense, right? Him posing these questions, and especially the one in the jail cell in the last episode, you know, asking him about his family's location. And as it turns out, it's Eastern Rose, you know, so he wanted him to have that in mind as the test played out. And of course, in the test, they mentioned Eastern Rose, and that's, you know, the area his family's in. And also for the audience, you know, it was for us to know that this would have major implications for Niall, you know, so they set that up for us last episode. And on that note, can I just say that Niall is an absolute hero, man. Absolute hero, because he had no clue that this is a false report, that this is a test for them, you know, the scumbags, the higher ups in control. But it's all, you know, but it's also a test for the other people in that room. Niall, you know, Niall being one of them. And I think he's an absolute hero for, you know, having the courage and having the resilience, you know, digging deep to have the courage and resilience to defy direct orders. And, you know, and say that as a human of all Rose, he's not going to allow it, right? So He's a real deal, man. Niall's a real deal. And I don't think he was just thinking of his family. Yes, that plays a part into it, but I think he saw the bigger picture, right? That conversation, again, I think that had a major impact on this. It reminded him that, you know, it's not just his family. Perhaps there's other families, you know. He's thinking of the other families that are going to go through this. He doesn't want to see his family go through this, so he wouldn't want to see others go through it, I think. And, you know, those questions that the commander posed, you know, who gets to decide, who gets to choose, these are the things he was thinking of before he made his decision, right? So yeah, you know, the commander, you know, he's good. He's good, man. He's good at doing this. These men in this council, I mean, they're so detached from reality, man. Like, deluded. Like, they're using the law as it fits their agenda. You know, the hypocrisy here, though, they got caught up in it, right? It backfired right in their faces. You know, that one piece of shit had the audacity to throw the charter of humanity at the commander, right? Thou shalt not prioritize self-gain over that of humanity. Like, the sheer hypocrisy of that, like, that's exactly what they're doing. But goddamn, that moment the commander throws that right back in their faces, amazing moment. Just such an amazing moment, man. Let's talk about some of the other major players in this coup, the successful coup. And it had to happen quickly, right? Most successful coups go down quickly, right? But, you know, Pixis, oh man, he played his role to perfection, man. You know, that moment he goes, I don't think you understand. This is not just a threat. This is a coup. Holy shit, man. Easily one of my favorite moments of the show. Just that feeling, man, to finally get one over that corrupt regime. You know, as you saw in my reaction, you know, I got really excited, you know, a little bit of spits flying out. It's all good. But I definitely believe that Pixis would have let the commander hang if it turned out that, you know, those people, the corrupt assholes, if it turned out that they did care about humanity and serving them, you know. And this is nothing new. They both agreed that this gamble, you know, if it doesn't come off, that they'll hang for this. You know, they accepted that. It did come off. You know, it came off perfectly, actually. And, you know, the other, another major component is Zachary. It turns out they had to convince Zachary. And they had to show him firsthand that this is how it played out, you know? They put him in this hypothetical, and this is how they reacted to it, right? They sold out on humanity the first chance they got. You know, it became about them immediately. And, you know, they all got to see this firsthand, you know? And like I said before, you know, the commander threw that charter of humanity right back in their goddamn faces, right? Self-gain over that of humanity. But beyond these major players, you know, others had a role to play as well in this revolution, this uprising. You know, Hanji said that the lone choices of many made the shift possible. You know, and as she's saying this, they're showing us, you know, people like Fragel, people like Niall. Niall was actually a major player, I think, in this. They're showing the journalists, right? They're showing us Marlowe and Hitch. All of them, you know, all of them had a part to play in this. But backtracking just a little bit, you know, that the conversation in the carriage, Zachary and the commander, you know, first of all, Zachary took me by surprise. Like, that's not something I saw coming, you know, that outburst. You know, that face he made, you know, as he proclaims to have hated them this whole time. And he also said that he couldn't have cared less if the coup was good or bad for humanity. So he's a strange one, you know, he's tough to read. This kind of flipped it upside down, this outburst he had. In fact, that conversation was actually about selfish desires, right? Zachary kicked it off. You know, he let us know all about his selfish desires. And then he posed the same question to the commander, you know, his reasoning for prioritizing himself over humanity. And of course, you know, he's got a major reason. He's got a big reason that his mission in life is to prove his father's theory. And you know, in the grand scheme of things, making it so people like his father, good people like his father, don't have to die just for knowing, or just for having knowledge. You know, he's fighting for transparency. He wants to make it so knowledge can't get you killed, man. And I think that all kind of ties in together. That being said, it might not be smooth sailing ahead, because for the first time in a long time, you know, they kind of go into the unknown. The commander even described it as a path far more dangerous than ever before. But it's such an amazing moment, man, to see the commander get this. Oh man, he's been fighting for this for such a long time. So fantastic moment. You know, it's definitely the best episode of the season so far. Hey man, the commander's, he's right up there, man. He's right up there in my list. Yeah, he's just incredible. And also, I do think he's similar to Armin and Eren in the sense that he wants to go out there, man. He wants to see what's out there. And yeah, and that's about it, man. That's about it for an incredible episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Best of the season. And it's only episode 5. Man, this season has been, you know, it's definitely going to be the best season. Like, it's already amazing. So many more episodes to go. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Super excited. So if you enjoyed it, drop a like, leave your comments. Let me know what you guys thought. Again, if you're into social media, check out my new Twitter. Links are in the description and the pinned comment. Huge thank you to all the amazing patrons. Again, you know, I really appreciate the support. Thank you for sticking around. You guys are the real deal, man. Thank you. And yeah, man, a reminder to anyone else, if you like full-length reactions, check out my Patreon page. Maybe this is a good one, you know, to check out episode 5. I had a lot of fun. Thanks for checking that out. I'll see you soon for the next episode. Hopefully. Take it easy.